This is a reading of Brenda's blog titled, Release Your Guilt About Universal Shoulds. Dear ones, many of you have mistaken our words, believing you have to be different instead of looking within to determine how and why you are different. Acting silly because it's fun is different than being silly because you feel you must. Again, shoulds from your society or the universes are not your path. Shoulds are no more. Even though you have heard that last statement over and over, most of you applied it to your social milieu. Shoulds also apply to concepts many tout as universal truths, including meditation, foods, and other forms of connecting with the universes. You do not require lessons or shoulds to connect with the universes. In truth, you never did. But because your 3D fear society was so burdensome, many attempted to lighten that burden with techniques that could connect you to your higher self or the universes. In fact, techniques that were likely valuable when you initiated your transition. Those techniques are no longer valid. Just as Ouija boards were once popular, but are no more, for the information obtained from Ouija boards is limited and burdensome. The veils have lifted for you. What feels comfortable? That is your only guide. If someone tells you that you must do this to connect to the spiritual realms or yourself, please review that information within your being. If it feels exciting to do so, that is part of your new path. But if it does not, realize that such actions might be perfect for the person suggesting them, but not for you. You are a unique being and no longer fit within spiritual activities designed for all. If a friend or significant other pushes you to try this or that, you might feel guilty for not doing so or wishing to do so. Stop the guilt. Again, if that spiritual action is appropriate for you, you will complete that action, or at least as much as feels right. You are no longer part of the group process that was once 3D. Many connecting with the spiritual realms tout this or that cure, an action that might work wonderfully for them, but not necessarily for you. Listen to your heart, your inner being, before taking the time and perhaps financial resources to explore those options. There is nothing wrong with providing spiritual guidance. The difficulty is when you return to the 3D belief that someone is more wise or skilled than you. Those skills you admire might be important for your role, or not, or skills you can obtain without their input. Maybe those skills are unnecessary flim-flam, or skills necessary for your next step forward. Only you know, not your friends or family. So, do not feel the need to jump from this program to that, or, more importantly, feel guilty that you do not. Perhaps those techniques will hinder your personal evolution, or not. Only you know, and the part of you that knows is within. You no longer need to ask the universes or humans if they think you need to do something. They are not you, and never will be. You are you, with the most appropriate guidance within. Perhaps you feel a need to pray to the universes, humans, or others to assist you in a forward movement. That is far different than waiting until they approve for you to do so, forcing you to take this step or meditate in this way, before you're allowed to actualize your dream. You are the CEO of you. Others can provide information and input, but you and only you make the final decision regarding the correct application of any information from humans, the universes, or others. You are you, not to be divided, reported, or directed by anyone but you. Allow that to be. And allow yourself to extinguish any guilt others might apply to encourage you to read this or do that if you wish to be a true earth angel. So be it. Amen. And now I think if you resonated with this, you can really and truly understand the perspective that I've held for so many years. And yet by the same token, I knew that it was right for me, but it wasn't my place to speak it as right for anyone else. This is one of the key reasons I do my best not to say, do this, do that. I do my best not to do that because I recognize the truth in this message, for me at least. It may not be true for you. But my guess is it pretty much is. I'm just guessing. Because I have a sense for you, the person who comes back and listens to these Brendas blogs. The ones who aren't listening clearly have decided already that they don't resonate with them. But this one really, really underscores for me why I began reading them in the first place. And that started way back in 2013. I asked myself, when was it that I first started recording these? And I did a search, and lo and behold, I saw some that were labeled 2013. I couldn't believe it, actually. But these messages help to at least validate, for me, the perspective that I was holding throughout that time, and perhaps didn't even necessarily have the way to express it for myself. And maybe that's where you are today. However, maybe also like me, you are finding that these messages are helping you to articulate something that you've held within you all this time. Now, does that mean that you might not have found that without this particular message? No, not at all. I mean, not for me, it doesn't. I'm not going to tell you what it means for you. Isn't that what this message was all about? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your support.